I work with dancing like for 19 years now. How can I evaluate that a coach is good?
One of the key aspects of a good coach is if the coach is goal oriented.
It's real level up, because the level up that you're suggesting is like, it's not just setting a goal, it's different.
Yeah.
When you do from this place where you're not respecting yourself, it will cost.
But it happens to people who are really good at what they do. I always go for this: how to use as little energy as possible to get the same or better result. Hello, welcome to Level Up Podcast. My name is Sabina and I will be your host. And today, for the first episode, I have a special guest. Her name is Brenda. Hi, Brenda.
Hi, Sabina.
So we were thinking how to do this, right? And then we got actually to the fact that there is much to know about coaching and that you have many questions. So we're going to flip the script around, and Brenda will ask me questions about coaching, and then we'll do a little demonstration for you. Because there is so much to know about coaching and everyone has their perceptions. So I'm going to give you mine.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like
Well-
you said, my name is Brenda.
Yeah, tell us
I'm-
about yourself, Brenda.
I'm an artist.
Yeah.
I work with dancing like for 19 years now.
Mm.
And also with self-development through dancing. It was a long journey, and I feel I'm in a transition point that I don't know exactly where to go.
Mhm.
So to me, this question, just to understand what is coaching and how it could, if it can help me, and what is it about, and how do you, I have so many questions about. So I think it's a nice way for us to start.
Yeah, I actually really like that you don't know that much about coaching, so we can just start from the scratch. I'm gonna give you like what I say is just my opinion. Maybe it doesn't reflect the whole coaching community, but it is what it is.
Yeah, that's a good point, because one of the things that kind of kept me away from coaching a little bit is the whole like what is the name? I don't know in English. Predictum stereotype
Okay.
of like everybody can be a coach, like you do, I figure out how to boil eggs and then I become a coach, and I don't know exactly what is it that makes a person a coach, and how can you know that a coach is a good coach and not
Yeah.
just a boiled egg coach.
I feel like this is gonna upset many coaches.
Sorry, I don't know anything about coaching,
No,
but
it's
that's
good,
my
it's good.
perspective, my perspective from things that I saw. It doesn't, of course, it's not about the people that really prepare themselves to be, but there are some people that I could see that they are giving advices that are really not so good. And you see that, of course, mostly in social media. So that's the source
Yeah.
where we can see most of the things. So I'm speaking from probably a point of view that a lot of people have.
Yeah. So I like that. Let's break the myths and stereotypes.
Yeah.
So yeah, did you? One thing I wanted to say is that like in everything, you have people who are good at it, and people who are not.
Yeah.
So I think at the end of the day, is the market who tells if you're good or not. People recommending you, companies recommending you, getting more business, having a bigger impact, is like, I think, a testament to are you doing some good job or not. But anyway, let's. Should I ask you something more?
Hmm. I think we can go for like, what is it about
Okay.
first?
And then
And
see if it can
and
help
one
you.
of the big questions that I have is this: like, how do you know that a coach is good? Because in my my profession, for example, the way you know is probably taking classes and checking if the teacher can teach many different types of crowds and not just like congresses, for example. And also take a private class, check what is the impact that the person has on the students or on the scene, like kind of what you said. But with a coach, I wouldn't know, because I'm not in the coaching scene. I'm not going to companies to see what they are doing there, So how can I evaluate that a coach is good?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think my first thought is it depends on the setting. So if you're in a business environment, obviously you're going to be looking for certain different specifics than if you're looking for a life coach. Um, because it's just tackling different issues and it's within a different environment. But that being said, I feel like each coach should have a few requirements, I think, to get there. I think it really helps if he's a psychologist. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a psychologist, it's just because it gives you such a good basis for understanding of human experience and how the mind works, and then you can help get navigate the process of this transformation better because you understand how it works. That, but it doesn't have to be. I'm just saying that, like, if I would go for a coach, I think I would go for somebody from psychology. If I'm more in business setting and if I'm in top management, maybe somebody with more business background, maybe even some experiences in that field, because maybe you're also searching for somebody who can understand your situation, because the research shows that the 30% of success of coaching is this relationship that is formed between well, a therapist and the client, but it goes the same for coaching. So it's not so much about the methodology that you know, it's not so much about the background you have, it's about the fit between the coach and the client. So we call this rapport relationship. So that you feel seen, that you feel accepted, that you don't feel judged, that there is trust in the relationship. So you can really open up and go and investigate and whatever challenges you're facing. Because usually, this is my experience, people show up with a symptom that is already like so bad that they seek professional help. And whenever we talk, because we always start like, what's the problem? And it's never the problem what they come up with in the beginning. That's like one of the symptoms. And then you need to go deeper to find what's the cause. So for this, I think this building trust and having a coach who can do that really helps. But it's also true that you click with some people better than others. Like I've already had situations where I know that is not going to be a good fit. So then I say it.
How you say it?
I say it. I don't think, you know what, for me, the key thing, what I also search for in a client is that they're consistent. Because if they're consistent, then they will make the progress and achieve the goals and success that we're looking for. And if they're not consistent, if they're just like, yeah, maybe I want to try, then I'm like, you want to try or you want to, or you want to do it, you know? So besides the trust, I think one thing that is also important would be compassion from a coach. In my, like, just
In
being,
your
yeah, in my experience, I think, like, if you show compassion to the person, whatever they're dealing with, they're more likely to open, and then you can go deeper. But also based on research, and this is research that I've done within my PhD, is one of the key aspects of a good coach that is connected with the efficiency of coaching evaluated by the client is if the coach is goal oriented. Because at the end of the day, coaching as a method is goal oriented. We are here, this is point A, and we want to go to point B, which is your goal. So it's not just like, let's meet and talk. Let's meet and talk where you are now, where you want to be, what are your options? That would be point C, which is the best option. And then also, what are the risks on the way and how to navigate those risks. So it's very goal oriented. And the plan is that within 8 or 10 sessions that you already reach a certain goal that can be more or less specific depending on the contract in the beginning. So this building trusting relationship, compassion, goal orientation. And another thing came up in my PhD research, which is conscientiousness. So also that the coach has this personality trait where they're keeping track, where they're being structured, where they have where they're organized. Because usually people, when they are searching help, they are lost,
Yeah.
or at least that's how they feel. So what should I do? And then you need somebody who is grounded, who
Yeah.
can guide the process, without also telling you the result. Because the essence of coaching is that I, as a coach, believe in you, that you have all the answers within you, that you have what it takes to figure out what is the right answer for you.
Is this your essence as a coach, or is this like something that most of the coaches
This
are?
would be also in the ICF definition of
Oh,
coaching.
okay.
So that the client has the resources, and you guide them with set of strategies and methods together, and you can use different models. But the essence of it is that I know that you have the power and the answers within you to make the change for you, because that's what empowerment is. Because if I'm giving you the solutions, if I'm telling you what to do, that's more mentoring.
Ah, so there is another thing. Okay, it's many things, but
It's many things.
this is one of the things that I was like curious about. Like, what is it the role of a coach? What is it now you're saying? Because I saw people that do this way. They tell you what to do, and maybe that's mentoring. I don't know.
It is, because mentoring is like a more hard form of learning. So you as a mentor have strategies how to get a certain result, and I'm learning from you. It can be two-sided mentorship, so maybe I teach you also something, but it's more or less about the transfer of knowledge and implementing that knowledge. I could, in my mentoring, I could also use coaching strategies in terms of asking questions and empowering you, but that's already like blending the two together. Whereas coaching, in pure coaching, another definition is a method of asking open-ended questions until you get the answers that you want, believing that the other person has those answers. And you, as a coach, you invite them to think about it, write it down, create an action plan, and be consistent with implementing that action plan. And then also holding them accountable. Because I've also seen this. People many times know what they should do. They just don't do it. Because I think this is hobby of all grown-ups, is going into your comfort zone. And your comfort zone, even though sometimes can be uncomfortable, it's your comfort zone, and then that's where you go. So changing habits, either on mental, emotional, or physical or spiritual level, just requires somebody in your corner. And I think coach can be that somebody in your corner who is holding you accountable, setting up a mirror for you, believing in you, maybe even at times when you don't, trusting that you have the answers that are right for you. Because nobody can know better what is right for you than you.
It's so cool because it reminds, like, you do that so well. But maybe that's why, because you are also a psychologist, so you kind of understand what is behind whatever, it's not just like, okay, you need to do this and that's it. I will just tell this story that happened between us because I was here to teach the weekend. So I was about to teach a dance weekender here in her city. And then I arrived and I said, I'm burned. I'm burned from planning classes. I'm burned from like, I feel like I cannot do this, and then I start to question if I still want to teach dancing, and maybe I just don't want to do that anymore with my life, and blah blah blah. And she just noticed that I was burned, and she said, just don't plan, maybe don't plan, and go and do whatever comes, and leave it, and it was so powerful just to have the permission to do something that actually I wanted, but I was not allowing myself to do it. And then you gave me the permission of do this thing because I trust you. I trust that if you don't want to do it, it's because something in you knows better. And it's true, because what was keeping me away from wanting to teach was the pressure that I was putting. Is not my passion from teaching. And just by giving that permission, But how
Yeah.
did you see that? Like,
Because it's so common, is this inner voice that we have that is always demanding, do more, do better, do I don't know what. But after 19 years of teaching, you are at the mastery level. You are like, you have so many exercises in
Mhm.
your mind. You know how to create a flow. It's like you've done, I think I can say, like at least 1,000 different workshops, and I don't know how many retreats. It's not your first gig.
Yeah.
So, you know, just because of that, I feel like you can show up.
Mhm.
Also, I can say this because I saw you show up. You can show up and read the room better if you don't have like a super crystallized plan how it should be, because then
Mhm.
you're maybe missing some other things that if with one exercise you can really tap into something much deeper, much more important for the people, which you cannot if you already have a plan.
Mhm.
Because this used to happen to me. Like I would come with content so prepared that the content that I prepared for me took the priority to delivering what I'm supposed to deliver to the people and
Mm.
reading the room. And this was happening in the beginning because I was trying to prove my value.
Mm.
But after like 10,000s of hours of doing this, I know I'm good enough.
Mm.
I got it. And I hope it doesn't sound like arrogant, but if it does, if I have a reason for it, I'm okay with that. Because the thing is, when I don't come so prepared, obviously I talk to the client what we want to do, what are the goals, but there are so many different ways to reach the goal.
Yeah.
So many different ways. And then I used to have like slides and PowerPoints and workbook and all of that. And now sometimes I just show up and I'm like, okay, so
Wow.
let's see, who are you, what are you, what do you need? And like based
Yeah.
on what they tell me, I can really know this more and then offer what they actually need.
Mm.
What they not what the I don't know, the client thought that they needed, because on the outside it could look very much different than when you're there in the room with one team and then just doing it. So this is the level of like being a professional, really knowing what you're doing, coming prepared. That it doesn't look like with the I don't know, so many exercises. It's like coming prepared, being calm,
Mm.
being grounded, believing in yourself, knowing that this is what you're very, very good at. And
Mm.
then with this, you give people this, she
Ah.
knows what she's doing. We
Ah.
can all just relax. And then they relax, and then you can really go deeper. And you have that already. And I think this inner voice, it's also pushing me, like now that I'm trying all of these new things. But for this podcast, I was like, how can I do it in a lighter way without creating so much pressure of like, oh, I need, I don't know how many episodes and so many viewers. Now I want to focus more on like, how can I have fun with it and have meaningful conversations that perhaps can bring value to other people?
Mm.
And it's creation from this place feels like, so much easier. So that's what I wished for you as well, because I saw you and I know that you're in this period of your life where things are not clear, but clear enough to know that this is not how it's gonna be. So
Yeah.
it's like this transformation phase,
Yeah.
and this is the moment where you should be the kindest to yourself.
Mhm.
But that's what the opposite happens.
Yeah.
Like this, I one part of me wants to say imposter syndrome, but I'm not gonna say it. But I said it.
It's okay. I already thought about many times. I studied about it because I was like, is it what is happening to me? Maybe it is. But from what I talk to people, I can see that a lot of people resonate with this,
Mhm.
and I think this transition is hard because what you're suggesting as a level up to me is it's real level up, because the level up that you're suggesting is like, it's not just setting a goal and like making this like, no matter what, no pain no gain, I will get it. It's different.
Yeah.
It's leveling up from like, life can be easier, life can be softer. Like
Mm.
you can create and achieve your goals with much more kindness
Yeah.
to yourself, and
Mm.
what you can create will be much more beautiful because you're going to inspire other people that life can be better. So
Mm.
I guess that's the
That's so
part
nice.
that's the part that I'm like, my experience with coaching so far, it was much more like this idea that in dancing, I would call moving from control and from allowing, like from control or from trust. And I feel like this is what you're doing, but in coaching, like you're not giving this, okay, we're gonna achieve these goals and we're gonna do like this no matter what. It's like, okay, we have a direction, but let's trust that something within you and within me as a coach already knows. And with that level of trust, you move. And that's so hard, because when I see myself in this transition where, okay, life is good, but I know it can be better. And my career is going to a place that I don't know what is it that it will go, but I know that this is not the way. But then where is the way? And then my pattern was always like, no pain, no gain, make it happen. Like,
Let's go.
let's
Yeah.
go. And now it's like, I need a different program.
Yeah.
So I feel
Yeah.
like this transition is much deeper than just what I'm gonna do, but it's how I want to move. You know?
It resonates so much with me because up until this point, I was also goal oriented. Let's go. It doesn't matter how you feel. Just do it, and it got me so far. And it got me really far. It got me to a place where I can really trust in myself and in this place of inner peace. Inner peace, like knowing that I'm good enough. Because this is one of the essences that you work with in therapy or sometimes in coaching. It depends. People just struggle with this: am I good enough, and how much I need to prove my worthiness, and even you, like you're one of the best in your field, like world known.
But I struggle with this so much.
And you struggle with this so much, and now I get to see it because we became so much closer and friends. But that's also what got you to this level of excellence. And now that you're here, now it's like, okay, how else can we do it? Because I'm studying this also for myself, how to go to the next level. What is the next level? And I think the next level is creating, but from a place of playfulness, from a place of lightness, from a place of knowing what you want, manifesting, working also for it, but not against your body.
Yeah. Love that.
Because I would do it against my body. Like, I still remember when I opened my company. God, that was the most broke ever. Yeah, the cryptocurrencies have to do something with it. I don't want to talk about it. Anyway, it was my moment where I'm like, okay, I quit my job before that for many reasons, but then it was time for me. Okay, do you have what it takes? Do you have the courage to go on your own? And then I opened up my company, which is working with personal development, trainings, workshops, coachings.
Were you already working with this in the company?
I used to work in one company where I was head of internal coaching system. So I would have this topic as my PhD, but also I would work for it. It was pretty much the only job that I wanted to do. But then things changed, and I quit. And then Corona started. So I opened my company in the beginning of Corona, which is like the worst time to start a company that works in education. For many reasons, the main one is they cut budgets, because it was very uncertain times. So I don't know why, but they always cut the budget for education, which is like one of the, I'm sorry, stupidest thing that you can do, because you need people to be ready for that change. And if any time is good to invest in your people, it's in the time of crisis. But I understand also a business owner, we need to cut costs. This is unnecessary because that's never a priority. So it was hard, and I worked from 10 to 14 hours per day every day. And because I couldn't go and travel and dance, I pretty much worked like the whole day, every day. Didn't matter if it's a weekend or not. Luckily, I had a big apartment, so I could at least change rooms. Okay, so now we're in this room, then we're in that room. But the one thing that happened to me is after 6 months, I got sick at the idea of even having another group and teaching, because everything was online, and I've been doing it so much that I was sick of it. So the fact was that I was exhausted.
Mm.
I was exhausted because I was not only doing workshops, I was preparing the materials, I was selling, I was invoicing. I was like one-man band.
Oh my God.
And none of my bosses before that could put that much pressure on me as I did
Oh
in the
God.
moment, because I knew what I was capable of. But there's a price.
Mm.
So I had to pay the price. And the price was not liking what I do anymore, like just really feeling sick at just the thought that I have another group, but then showing up for that group because I promised and pretending that I like it.
Oh
That
God.
was so much against my body. And then the body told me so much, but I was ignoring it. And another thing that I really took it seriously was when I started to have beeping in my ears.
Oh
And the
God.
more the day was stressful, the louder the beeping is. So the thing is that the beeping is still there. So this is,
Is it still
but
there?
it's still there. But the thing is, I think it's like an alarm system from my body, because when I'm more under stress, it's louder. And when I'm
Mm.
less under stress and I do breathing techniques, or I'm in the nature, I don't hear it, or it's very, very subtle.
Wow.
So yeah, I think that was my price. And the more I talk to people, the more I realize so many people have this. Imagine a place you don't have silence ever. Even in the most silent spot, you're like,
Yeah. I had that too in the past, but for different reasons.
yeah, like I went against my body. And now, 5 years later into the future, I think I had to have that experience. Even though knowing everything that I know,
Mm-hmm.
it still happened. It's not like you are immune to it if you
Mm.
know about it. You still need to do your awareness and check with yourself and change your habits. So after that, I really had a conversation with myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I did that, because I actually had a conversation,
Cool.
and I coached myself. Yeah, so I changed my lifestyle. Now I wanna work 6 months and six
Nice.
months off, or doing like strategic things. I really don't want to get trapped into this cycle of like just working on the same things over and over again, which is one of the reasons why I started the podcast, because I just want to talk with interesting people and share, the
But
wisdom.
that's the thing, because when you do from this place where you're not respecting yourself, it will cost
Mm-hmm.
so expensive for everybody, because then you don't want to do the thing that you love the most, and you believe it's because you don't like it anymore, but you're just very tired.
Yeah.
You need a nap and a sandwich.
Nap and a sandwich, like, or maybe a longer nap, because you go into deficit with your energy so much.
Yeah.
But it happens to people who are really good at what they do.
Hmm. But I can see you now, like after you probably take, because you told me you took like 6 months of like really break and just taking care of yourself, and now I can see you doing so much, but nothing feels heavy.
Yeah.
Nothing feels
Yeah.
like it's heavy. Like even this, like let's do a podcast, and it feels like, yeah,
Yeah, let's do
it's
it.
let's do it. So I feel like this is one of the questions I wanted to ask actually, was to, but I think we're kind of answering already. Like, what is your type of client, and in a way, it seems to be these people that are ready to level up, not only the goals,
Mm.
but the how they will do it.
Yeah,
That's
the
how it
quality
sounds.
of life. So my main clients are basically companies. So I do a
Mm,
lot of trainings, or like more process based. So we would meet a couple of times, like 4 or 8 times. It depends on the program.
mm,
So it would be companies. So I work a lot with a team, or middle management or top management, mostly management, actually. Leaders
mm,
will be my main clients, either leaders who transitioned to a new higher level, or people who will become leaders, or people who are leaders and things within the team are not working.
mm,
I would do a lot of work with just like the whole middle management, doing a leadership coaching program, or just a leadership program with elements of coaching.
mm,
Because, for leaders, it's also really hard. Working nowadays, like there are 4 different generations on the workplace. And not only you have to, be responsible for the goals and achieving those goals, but also navigate your communication and how you motivate people and how you talk to them and how you delegate and how you give feedback. All of that really varies from person to person, even within one generation, let alone like different generations. So it's very challenging, especially a lot of the leaders come to the position of leading through being the best person as an expert in this field. So then okay, so then you're going to become a leader, obviously. And then it's like two risks that happen. You lose a really good expert and you can gain a medium or not really good leader, because they love to do what they used to do and they're really good at it. And so often I find people who don't really want to lead, they just wanted a higher paycheck or have more respect. So and this is like a reflection if you get promoted. So I'm always advising companies also to have the horizontal layer of promoting people, not just vertical one. So this kind of leader who used to be an expert, I work with them a lot. They need to change completely their mindset about leadership. So I'm not navigating just my energy now. I'm navigating energy of more people. And the question is how to navigate that energy in a way that I always go for this, how to use as little energy as possible to get the same or better result. And people are like, I don't know, it doesn't sound right. And then you discover that there is so many possibilities to do that. Just how you treat yourself, for example, how much you invest in your mindset, how much you invest in your people. So instead of doing one more operational task or micromanaging somebody because you could do it better, or checking everything and being VP of bottleneck, all of that takes a lot of your time and a lot of your energy, and the result is okay. But if you would spend that time, or let's say at least 10 or 15% of your time more managing your people in terms of development, giving them feedback, teaching them, helping them raise their mental capacities in terms of mental strength, mental agility, mental speed, then you have an employee who is competent, let's say today on this level, but within 6 months it's on this level. So that's a big difference. And it came because you were consistent as a leader. And even though right now this one task would make more sense that you do it and you would spend less time and energy, you decide to empower somebody else to do this same task. So it takes more time in the beginning, but later on they are more equipped to solve more complex problems, which then leaves you as a leader to think more strategically, to think about optimizing processes, connecting the team together. And that makes you then a real leader. But it's like this mindset shift that needs to happen, and people need to give themselves permission for it. Because the statistics more or less are like this. You are a manager 3 to 5 years first, and then you go to some kind of program for managers, but which is too late. In 3 years I already formed my habits, and it's much harder to unlearn than to just learn.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So those would be like my main clients, different kind of managers or directors of the company. A lot of them is also owner or director of the company, and they have nobody to talk to, like if you're stressed about what to do within the company and how to maintain profit, or how to make sure that the business goes well, or how to make strategic decisions. Sometimes those are topics that you don't want to worry people within the company with. And then it's cool to have a coach. If nothing else, then it just allows you for this 1 hour once per 2 weeks to reflect on where you are, where you want to go, how are you doing on that journey. It can also be just that, because schedules of some people are very busy.
Mhm.
I know mine is, but like very, very busy. Probably if you're running a company of 100, 200 people,
Yeah.
and then just taking this time for yourself and being there for you, showing up
Mhm.
consistently can mean so much. And then it's much better investment of time and energy because you take this time to reflect and
Mhm.
think what would be the best for the common good
Mhm.
of the company or even the world, and then making decisions from that place.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you work more with companies. You don't work like with one-on-one.
I also work with one-on-one, but like majority would be companies.
Ah, I
But
see.
the people one-on-one, like right now I'm having a lot of people reaching out to me to help them set boundaries.
Oh.
Boundaries. So I use this concept from psychotherapy a lot. So you have different drivers. Driver is how to say it? Driver is like a set of limiting beliefs
Mhm.
connected with your personal worth
Mm.
that based on that you evaluate yourself if you're okay or not, if you're worthy of love or not, if you're worthy of
Mm.
respect or not. So in the original theory from Eric Berne you have 5 drivers, but then it developed as well into 7. And people who are coming to me now the most are please others. So please others would be a driver, like highly expressed driver, where a limiting belief is I'm okay if others are okay, or I'm okay if I help others, or
Mm.
I'm okay if other people are happy. So I connect my personal value with the fact how other people feel.
Okay. So you have this theory behind, and you do that for coaching or for therapy? And that was the other question that I had.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when is it that you know that somebody needs a coach or a therapist?
That's a great question. Maybe the reason why I'm connecting both is because I also studied psychotherapy.
Mm.
I'm now in my supervision process. I finished the first 4 years of transactional analysis from Eric Berne. And when I met this concept of drivers, I'm like, amazing.
Mhm.
I must use this. And
Mhm.
then how I use it I actually use it within coaching. So I would send a questionnaire to the person before we even start the coaching. Like, can you fill
Mm.
this out? So then I already see their drivers and can predict many of the obstacles that they will be facing on based on the result.
Oh.
Always I take it with some distance because it's just a questionnaire, but it also gives me some guidelines on where to navigate the journey and what kind of permissions to get also from the client.
Mm.
But it also helps them to understand themselves better.
Mm.
So, okay, my driver is this one. Okay, so I need to change my limiting beliefs. So this changing of the limiting beliefs would be something that you do in therapy, like going into deep
Mm.
core essence of personal worth. But having a PhD in psychology, having being educated in coaching, doing this for my PhD, doing psychotherapy, I think it really gives me this overview of different methods.
Mhm.
And I invested into developing the skills to use those methods
Mm.
accordingly to the client. So if I keep my answer short, coaching would be taking the client from point A to point B on a more superficial level, and it's more future oriented. So we are
Mm.
here now. Okay, you had some trauma happen to you in the past. Who didn't know? But it is what it is now. Where you want to go? So that's why I liked coaching in the first place. It was like a first method that is focused on the future,
Mm.
whereas psychotherapy would go more into past experiences, investigating what happened
Mm.
there, to try to understand the story line that happened and how you tell it to yourself and how that is influencing how you're perceiving the world right now.
I see.
So it's much more deeper. It's also longer, so it would take like a couple of years. Also, it depends on the modality that you choose for the therapy. But coaching would be 6 to 10 sessions, let's say. Within this, you define a goal and then you reach that goal. And the goal can be more soft, so more exploring what is it that I want. which would often happen in life coaching or maybe career coaching, or it can be much more explicit. Okay, let's build up your leadership skills. So then coaching would overlap actually with mentoring and training. So I would give the leader a certain method, like structured message or leading with questions, and we would apply that method on his everyday life. And then until the next session, he would try to put that into practice. So I think as a coach, the more you're skilled, the more competencies that you have, the more you're investing in yourself, the better coach you can be for the person on the other side.
Yeah.
That being said, it's always important to get that contract. So, yeah, therapy more in depth, more also focused on the past. It's more long term. The goal isn't so clear. You work a lot with the concept of personal value, whereas coaching is goal oriented, future oriented, shorter, much more action plan based. Yeah.
And mentorship?
And mentorship would often happen within an organization where somebody who has more experiences in certain area would transition those experiences to somebody who doesn't. So like always when a newcomer is in the company, they get a mentor for that trial period. At least in Slovenia, it's like you get 6 months. Within these 6 months, you get a mentor, and that mentor is guiding you, and then at the end, also evaluating if you're a good fit for the organization or not.
I see.
So that can be one way. Another way can be within organizations. For example, I worked before in an NGO for young proactive people. And what we would do is we would create a platform with people who are already successful in their fields, not necessarily very known, but successful in their fields, and being willing to share their knowledge. And you could come to that platform as a mentee and just choose the mentor that you would like to have. And it could be a mentor, maybe it's somebody you find very inspiring. I don't know, you want to go into marketing and you want to collaborate with one person who does very specific area of marketing. So then they can tell you how that works. Maybe they can connect you with other people, open certain doors for you. I've also seen it happen that people hire the mentee, because this is somebody who is proactive enough to seek a mentor, who is consistent enough to show up for the meetings and organize the meetings. And, those mentors, a lot of the times they have their own companies. So that could also happen. Or I had my mentor open many doors for me, okay, I feel like you should meet this person, and then you meet this person, and this is how your life then goes, because one meaningful conversation can also like change the direction where you go in life.
It's true. Like we had some meaningful conversations that were very important to me. And then I have all these questions of like, what is it that I should search, like a coach, a therapist, a mentor? And one of the things that happened in our meaningful conversations was the concept of trust, because I remember I was having a hard time to trust on doing my work by myself, because on these 19 years of dancing, I've been teaching with a dance partner, because I teach partner dancing. And there was like some stuff behind that I was not aware. And then when I started to try to do by myself, and you told me like, yeah, you can build trust in different ways. And you said one is like the intention behind. If the intention is good.
Benevolence, yeah.
Benevolence. And you said consistency. And the third one was competence. So I'm competent. I'm doing this for so long.
Yeah,
So
you know what you're
I
doing.
have the skills, and my intention behind is really good, but my consistency was not so much. So I needed to show up for myself. So basically what I did, okay, I will go and teach these workshops by myself. And I did. And then what I noticed is that I need therapy, because to put this step like there, what I noticed is that when I would do by myself, it showed up that one of the things that were making me feel trust when I'm with someone was the dynamic power, actually. To believe that I know better than the person that is by my side would make me feel very confident.
Mm-hmm.
Like so messed up, you know, like that's what I discovered in my therapy. She was like, you feel confident with a person because your confidence is based on power dynamic, because that's what you learned when you were a child.
Mm.
And so you need now to find the confidence in you for you,
Mm-hmm.
not related to somebody else.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, okay. Then I needed to do both, you know. I need to continue to move forward so I
Yeah.
can build this new place
Yeah.
inside of me. And I need the therapies so I
Which
can
is
figure it out.
actually really good. I would recommend combining it, because with coaching you're moving forward and you're getting different experiences, and through different experiences you can change how you view yourself.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can just go in from the checking how your mind is set and how you're programmed and changing those settings. And sometimes you can help change those settings by having different experiences that
Mm-hmm.
are more positive. Okay, look, I've done this one by myself. I've done this one by myself. I got really amazing feedbacks. They invited me there, so it's like so many proof from the outside world that it's also working, and then this can also help you build this trust in you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so both, I think it's very cool. And at the end of the day, I think it's the essence for me of empowerment is, first of all, you understand what's happening to you,
Yeah.
because once you have clarity, okay, this is what's happening. So then we come back to emotions, which is, I can talk so much about it, but like, let's let's keep it focused. Yeah, I think both can work really, really well if you have the capacity for it, and also at the end of the day, the finances, because all of this is also can be expensive. It depends. I I think it's worth mentioning that it's a good investment in you that can then help you grow later on. But it needs to be timed also well. And yeah, maybe, yeah, for everyone just to check in with themselves, how open they are, how much capacity they have, and also from the financial point of view. It's important, and nobody really wants to talk about it. I know why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I love to see somebody like just sitting up. Like each session, they start here like all buried under the weight of the life, and it's, oh, it's so bad. And then like how their spine gets more straight, how they sit differently, how they come better dressed. I still remember having one client, and the first session it was bad.
It was
It was bad.
Why?
She wasn't bad, like energy very low. Like, if you have your phone, like less than 20% of battery, you will be like, oh, where can I charge my phone? But when your life battery is under 20, oh, it's still 20. You only have 2%. Yeah, I only have 2%,
Yeah.
you would, even your phone, you wouldn't treat this way.
That's true.
And she was on 2%.
Oh.
She was on 2%, really, and still so demanding of herself, like,
Wow.
and very successful lady, like, director of her company, has family, has children, has hobbies, and she just lost all the joy in life.
Wow.
And it breaks your heart to see that, but also like I felt very responsible for it, that we need to get to a certain result. But you know what happened at the first session after she started to trust me? Because in the beginning she was just saying all the right things, but it was like, she's not opening up. And then I actually told her, like, I feel like there is so much more to be shared and that you don't trust me. So what can I do to help you start to trust me? And it was so funny because she saw that we have a mutual friend. And then in her mind, it was like, if we have this mutual friend, maybe she talks about her clients with her friends. And that's why she was reserved to open up, even though she got a recommendation for me from another acquaintance. And then I could see her mind like, I'm like, you can say it. What is it? What is it? What is? She's like, yeah, we have, and she tells me the story. I'm like, okay, let me assure you one thing, which is the confidentiality. I wanted to speak about it a little bit later after, I hear your story, but I guess the time is now. And I did the principles of collaboration, which I usually do in the first session, which one of them is the confidentiality, which is I don't talk to anyone about what we talk about in the coaching sessions. So I don't go around talking to my friends, look, I had Brenda over and we did this and this. Obviously not.
Unless we're doing a podcast.
Unless, but this is why I don't think podcasts on this topic exist. It's a very valid point. So the thing was that the only time I would share something from the coaching would be in my supervisions. And even then I would skip your name. And supervision is more for me how I felt in the process, and that I could do something else or something more, or maybe there is something in the background of the problem that I'm not seeing. So I'm going to my supervisor to help me figure it out. So that's the only time I would talk about it. And after I told her this, I also added, and I never talked to my friends about it.
Aww.
And she was like, oh, and then
And then
we got to the core, and she told me like what's really the problem. And then she was just crying for like 15 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because she needed to have this release of emotions. And I'm like, you know what? Our first intervention, I call it interventions, like what you do in between, is for you to get some rest. Because you cannot start a life change if you're so goddamn tired.
Yeah.
So if you're tired, just allow yourself to rest. Really?
It sounds so simple. No?
It is so simple. We wanted to do the podcast like 2 days ago, but 2 days ago I wasn't good. And I'm like, okay, you want to start this podcast from this lightness? You're tired. Like, get some sleep, girl. And I feel today so ready to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel very supported and calm, and doing it from this place of where I want to grow from for the next level up chapter of my life. So yeah, I know this was like a long answer to your questions, but most of my answers.
They're long, but it's like this the first episode. I remember I did once one podcast also.
Yeah.
And the first episodes we were just like talking so much. But after it gets better. And it's good because I think a lot of people can relate to many different parts of the conversation. There is one thing that I wanted to do. I don't know if you're going to have time, but actually, I think two things that I wanted.
Okay.
We can cut this part or keep it. I don't know. But it's one to ask, based on my situation, how your book could help me. This is one. The other one is knowing that I'm very open and transparent to share all my life experiences and everything. If we could have a little session that people could watch, because that was one of my main curiosities, like how does a coach session looks like?
Yeah.
And allow myself to be as lost as I am, and having you help me.
Yeah, I think let's just try to do the demonstration of it, and you can bring the challenges that you're facing
Okay.
with right now.
And we can finish with how the book could help me.